Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bellinger Park at Buderim on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. We can see the two teams out there for this vitally important Football Queensland Premier League Round 23 clash between the hosts Sunshine Coast Wanderers and the visitors this afternoon, South United, as both teams go through their pre-match ritual. It's a beautiful afternoon on the Sunshine Coast, not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures in the mid-20s. Should be in for an action-packed affair. As we take a look at the team list for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers this afternoon, James and Ticknap out of the lineup this afternoon after the win against Ipswich Knights last week. For South United, they're without Ethan Grimley, injured in last week's 4-0 loss to Peninsula Power, making his replacement in the starting lineup. Here's another Ethan Smith in jersey number 4. Sunshine Coast Wanderers couldn't do it without the support of their sponsors. They'd like to thank Sunshine Mitre 10, and Souths are ever grateful for the ongoing support of AMJ Metal Roofing. Match officials for this afternoon, powered by Total Tools. Our referee is Michael Berlone, and he'll be assisted by Ben Cook and Zach Keenan. So we're underway, round 23 of the Football Queensland Premier League from Bellinger Park on the Sunshine Coast. It is the hosts, Sunshine Coast Wanderers, up against South United. Let's take you through the two team lineups and how they look this afternoon. In goal for the Wanderers is Denver Crickmore, 2 Joel Quacko, 3 Nick Arden, 4 Michael Scarf, 5 Ray Schultz, 7 Carl Von Hoff, 10 Leon Dwyer, 13 Ben Lynch, 15 Taylor Walkinshaw, 16 Josh Forsey on the bench. Oliver Blackmore, Jeremy Stewart, Kobe Fuller, Tyler Morse and Josh Wall. Here's South in possession, down by Andy Butler in search of Jack Cabassi. The South lineup in goal is Declan Murphy, 2 Andy Butler, 3 Jack Cabassi, 4 Ethan Smith, 5 Nick Piper, 6 Greg Goulet, 10 Josh Anderson, 14 Harun Amerovich, 15 Brody Kenyon, 18 David Salin and 29 Kato Aochi. On the bench, Joey Masuda, Jake Taylor, George Smith and the reserve keeper Nick Popovich. This is Butler. He's called an offside position, however. Not too much splitting these sides coming into this afternoon's clash. As I said, it's 4th versus 5th. The Wanderers leapt over Souths after last weekend's round into 4th position. Both sides with an identical 11 wins, 4 draws and 5 losses for the 2018 Football Queensland Premier League season. It's just goal difference that separates them. Sunshine Coast Wanderers with 50 goals for and 22 against for a plus 28 goal difference. South are 56 and 31, plus 25. As we see Murphy reach up high for that one. So whoever can claim the 3 points this afternoon would go clear into 4th spot with 3 rounds of the Football Queensland Premier League remaining. Third and 4 the Wanderers, then Dwyer. Looks like a change in formation since I've last seen the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Joel Quacko in the 2 had been playing in a right back position. Looks to be getting a bit more forward, perhaps in defence, getting back into that position, but playing attack more up front. Michael Scarf seems to be playing as a number 9 or number 10. That probably explains why he's been scoring so freely of recent times. Scored in 3 consecutive matches, including 3 against the Wide Bay Buccaneers a couple of weeks ago. Sullin with the distinctive long socks going over the knees for Souths. As always, want to know your thoughts on this game, the FQPL more broadly. Who do you think will claim a top 4 spot? We'll go through some of those scenarios as this game progresses. We've got a new team into the promotion spot after last night's games. As always, you can let us know where you're watching in from, comments, any questions you've got on the Facebook post. Just put them in the comments field and we'll go through those as the game goes on. So free kick taken by Vonhoff, directly to the South custodian of Murphy. The sun slowly setting behind the trees in the western sky. It's causing a bit of an impediment, as you can see, with Andy Butler putting the hand to the face, shielding the eyes. Might trouble the Sunshine Coast keeper in Denver Crickmore in this first half, with any balls coming in from his right. In for Aochi. Too far for him. Away there by Schultz. Decision going the visitors' way.
Mark players.
Aochi. Away by Forshey.
Push, come on.
Lost out possession there
Put it back if we can.
by Goulet for Souths. Had it back at their feet again. Piper turns it straight over to the Sunshine Coast Wanderers player in Scarf. A couple of players losing their footing on this Ballinger Park service. Referees ruled a free kick here to Souths, just inside their defensive half.
Wait for him now. Push one in, Josh. Liam, get off. Keep in front. Come on, Birds.
Kabassi.
One of Birds.
Butler. Kabassi with the return ball. Tries to get the spin in. Aochi. Searching for Amirovic. There's been a late change for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Originally we were told that Jeremy Stewart in the 11 would start from the bench. Here he is in the starting lineup. Ben Lynch will now start from the bench. Scarf, good touch on. Draws out Murphy. The shot will across the line. It won't. And Souths have survived an early scare. It's a corner here for the Wanderers. Scarf and Quacko combining. And the Wanderers have tested the visitors early on in this game. Be Vonhoff to take this corner from this near side. Crowd of players inside the 6-yard box. That's where we can expect it to be played into. There's plenty of tall timber for the Wanderers. Players of handball fall on deaf ears and skirted wide by Walkinshaw. breeze just popping up at times here at Bellinger Park. Just whipping through at the moment. Which direction is it coming from? Basically from right to left as we look at it from the Canberra angle. So perhaps favouring the Wanderers in this first half. As we see Murphy's goal kick. Quacko first to it. Butler for Souths. Once again, players just tripping up on that surface. So I mentioned the other games already played in round 23 on Friday night. Mitchelton kept their slim finals hopes alive after a 4-2 win against Ipswich Knights at home. Peninsula Power kept on going along their merry way and brought up the ton in terms of goals scored this season. Thought it might be a tricky little trip out of the John Fredericks Park. In fact, they were at home, Peninsula. What am I talking about? Peninsula 7-0 winners against Capalaba. High scoring affair between Wolves and Holland Park Hawks, and it was Wolves that got home 5-3. A late equaliser from Southside Eagles has ended Rochedale's chances of promotion in the inaugural year of the FQPL, 1-1. And Eastern Suburbs, comfortable winners. Probably an understatement. Double figures against the Wide Bay Buccaneers last night. 10-1, including Uil Scholl, the current Golden Boot, booting home a hat-trick last night. Logan Lightning had the bye. So of the teams in finals contention, we know that Peninsula Power are well clear, 64 points on top. Eastern Suburbs move into second on 44, Logan on 43. These two teams, the Sunshine Coast Wanderers and Souths, in 4th and 5th respectively on 37 points. Rochdale on 32 and Mitchelton. They are 5 points adrift of 4th with 3 games to play, sitting on 32. So it is mathematically possible for the Mustangs to make the finals. But they basically need to win every single game of their own for the rest of the season and then hope results go their way. Rochdale and Mitchelton will be desperately hoping for a draw out of this game today, you'd think. Winner would go to 40 points in 4th. Would be 3 points clear of their next rivals. 6 to Rochdale if that were to happen, and then 8 to Mitchelton, which would effectively end their chances, the Mustangs, if one of these sides could pick up the 3 points this afternoon. So the Wanderers looking the better early doors after 11 minutes played. Goal kick here for South. We saw on the live stream last week, South's a 9-match unbeaten streak being ended down at Wakeley Park by the Premiers elect Peninsula Power, 4-0. Sunshine Coast Wanderers had a successful trip out to Eric Evans Oval at Bundamba in a 3-0 win against the Ipswich Knights. That gives them 4 games unbeaten. The Wanderers, including 3 wins in a row. South will be looking to start an unbeaten streak again in search of the finals. Last time they met, a lone goal from Jake Taylor was the difference between these two sides at Wakeley Park. South getting up 1-0 over the Wanderers. South look to clear from out the back. Butler has gone away from him a little. Kabassi just Holds up in the breeze. You can see quite distinctly that time how it held up for Anderson. Kavassi for Aochi was the attempt. Butler. Anderson. Aochi with his back to goal. We know how dangerous he can be even within that position. It's around Arden. Shot away at the end. High and wide of the target. Josh Bock embracing the whole motto of South United. Get excited, South United. Also predicting an easy 3 points for the Wanderers. Afternoon to those of you watching on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in southeast Queensland. The flag up on the far side. Once again, that breeze you can hear in the effects mic whipping right up now. This afternoon sea breeze. Unseasonally warm weather in the southeast the last 2 weekends, up into the mid-20s and then some. Goulet. Now Kavassi. Target was Aochi once more. Just in that right corner, the Wanderers attempt to hem in south. The cross comes in low. Aochi wasn't there. Omerovic was also waiting, who's regained the skipper's armband for Souths this afternoon. Harun Omerovic missed vast parts of the middle of the season due to injury. Quacko. Stewart now for the Wanderers. Plenty of yellow shirts begin to arrive on the scene, but firstly, Stewart is going to have to deal with Salin. Referee's whistle blows, and Stuart Dean the offender. The referee will have a quiet word on the run. Potentially to both players here. Quick word to Jeremy Stewart, one to also David Salin. Also asked the Frenchman to play the free kick in the right position, which was basically only a yard in front of him. Murphy for Piper.
There we go, Scotty. Go on inside, there we go. Come on.
Kavassi. You can hear Matt Chandler barking in the background. Free kick there against Verdun. Yeah, he just did cop him unfairly, unfortunately. I'm just saying, Matt Chandler, you can hear in the background the Sunshine Coast Wanderers coach barking out the instructions to his players. Plenty of encouragement as always. Matt Chandler saying, coming into this game, that his side's been playing some nice football. It's great to see them scoring good goals again, and defensively they're looking much stronger. As I said, a bit of a rejig in the formation. The next two games, the most important for the Wanderers, in Matt Chandler's eyes, before a tough run. It's always a tough run, these last 4 games for Sunshine Coast Wanderers, but he's trying to explain that if he can get points out of these next 2 games, it'll make the last 2 a little easier as they continue towards their target in their debut season, towards a top 4 finish.
Come on, Verdo.
Verdun let it go there, did Dwyer. Just followed the track of the ball, then got a shot away at the end that was repelled by Murphy. Skipper Nick Arden for the Wanderers. Bit of chirping with Aochi. Away by Crickmore. Verdun. Wanderers ball.
Remember. Let's take this one out.
Turn, Jez, turn.
Stewart.
We get it back. We get it back.
Here's Kenyon
Come out here.
against Stewart. Plenty of experience between those two players. Iochi with the initial touch for control. And straight to the back was Butler against Ray Schultz.
Quality, Nick, quality. Yes, well done.
Likes it a bit physical, does Andy Butler. Certainly lets his opponent know he's around.
With and without the ball.
Sun's starting to set behind the trees, and that will assist with providing a little bit more shade in this late afternoon sun as we see the free kick driven into the box by Dwyer. Now Sounds with a bit of space to operate in.
Come on, Ray.
It's tricky at times to make out the South numbers along the green and white hoops. The free kick and a yellow card being dished out to the Wanderers player in Taylor Walkinshaw, so he's the first player into referee Michael Ballone's notebook this afternoon. 19 minutes into the first half. If you have just joined us, no action in terms of goals being scored. The scoreboard attendant hasn't been troubled thus far. 0-0 between the Wanderers and Souths. Free kick into the box, defended away by the Wanderers, although Butler had the opportunity to head on there. Was there a free kick? No, said the referee. And away by Schultz. All the way down to the opposition keeper in Declan Murphy, who will handle. Thought about the quick roll out for Piper. Instead comes on the left for Salin, the Frenchman. Another ball driven forward in search of Aochi. Didn't quite make it. Dwyer. Von Hoff. Forshey. Going to set Quaco down the right wing, although it's going to be Verdon getting to it first. And South will have to concede the corner on the far side. South have been tested defensively here a couple of times by the Wanderers.
What's happening? What's happening?
Will the Wanderers be able to finally make that first blow on the South's goal from this corner opportunity? This time the players clumped around the penalty spot as the lights go on at Bellinger Park. Quaco there for the Wanderers. Couldn't get a touch up towards goal. Some dispute over the throw-in. Dwyer shapes to take this long. Use the advantage of the tall timber that the Wanderers have. Direct this one into the box. It's defended by Souths. Aochi comes in search of the ball. He slipped on the surface as well. Butler. Away by Anderson. Kenyon. Wants in the direction of Kabassi. Wanderers just content to hold off the South players at the moment. Salin brings it into the attacking half for the visiting side. Looks up for options. Not much ahead of him. Mirovic was there. It's the Wanderers who come away with the challenge. Ball, I should say that Verdon has evaded a couple of challenge, I think it is. Was, and Stewart straight to the feet of the South player. The lanky Mirovic looks to set Butler on his waist. Now it's Crick ball. Plays it short for Walkinshaw. Walkinshaw again after receiving the pass back from Von Hoff. Referees picked out a free kick after the ball was released. It will go the Wanderers' way after there was no advantage. So midway through the first half, still 0-0 at Ballinger Park. Thanks for joining us on the Football Queensland live stream this afternoon. Glad to have your company on a Sunday afternoon for our Sunday session. Not quite sure we're heading off to next week with the run into the finals. Basically a week-by-week proposition in terms of determining which games will be live streamed, so we'll have that for you on the Football Queensland social media channels during the week. Remember to give Football Queensland a follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out the Football Queensland website at footballqueensland.com.au, and a couple of stories up during the week, particularly pertaining here to the Sunshine Coast, with Isaac Priest, the Sunshine Coast referee, being awarded the Total Tools referee for the month of July, as well as some recognition for a man very close to home, the Buderim Wanderers volunteer of the month in John Sketchy. Congratulations to those two individuals on your awards. You can find out more about those two particular gentlemen on the Football Queensland webpage, footballqueensland.com.au. Launching it first time was Scarf. Not on in the direction of Quacko. Now put the pressure. Vernon also helping out. Quacko gets the ball back. Attempted shot straight into the legs of the South player. South bring it away once more. Amerovic is controlling the situation. Spots Aochi up front. Once again, just held up in the breeze. Now Verdon with a bit of space to operate in. Verdon more centrally, slides in front of Scarf, and then the other Wanderers player, Stewart, couldn't backtrack to retrieve the ball. Oodles of time for the Wanderers at the moment. Verdon, big focal point in this first half, driving much of the traffic out of the midfield, and Celine just leaves it for his keeper in Murphy. Once again, you can hear that wind in the effects mic.
Down, quick, birds! Take him away, birds! Get him, that's something! Go get with him. Go get with him. Go get with him. Go get with him.
Aussie Hassan off the ball. Referee says Kenyon. Well, initially he was allowing the play to continue, but he's blown his whistle here. The referee, a wry smile on Matt Chandler's face. Free kick will go the Wanderers' way. Why will have this free kick. Here it comes in towards the 6-yard box. Kenyon got to head to it. Hacked away by the Wanderers skipper in Arden. Quacko, can he drag it in before crossing the byline? He can't. And a goal kick for the Wanderers.
Now we get in then, yeah? Just a Scarfy, yeah? Complete, yeah.
Here's Murphy. Away by Arden. The feet of Verdon. Dwyer releases Verdon down the left-hand side. His opponent is Kabassi. He was just content to play it across the sideline and buy a little bit of time for his defence to recover. Verdon. And a corner here for the Wanderers. We go past 28 minutes. Of course, more FFA Cup action earlier in the midweek. And another Queensland side progressing after Lions defeated Olympic the previous week. New Orleans Cairns at half-time, but 4 second-half goals to Cairns, and they make their inaugural round of 16 appearance in the FFA Cup, becoming the second side through the round of 16 from Queensland. It was there for anybody that wanted to get a touch on it. Souths. Looks like it's Amerovic. Amerovic, as he's affectionately known as H, initial of his first name. Kabassi. Amerovic getting involved again. Schultz couldn't quite get the clearance away. Aochi controls it off the right foot. Getting there was the defender in the nick of time and walking short before Aochi get a shot away. Can be lethal in those instances. Cato. Stewart. Slides past Forshey. It'll be, Von Hoff the man to chase it on that right-hand side. Quacko. Recycles the ball out again for Von Hoff. Delivers it high towards the edge of the area. Amerovic. Butler's making the run inside of him. Aochi's up front.
Birds, I need you, pal. Need you early.
Goulet.
Shake.
Salin.
Shake. Patient. Be patient.
Goulet. Anderson. Aochi. Ken South delivers something here. Butler. The edge of the box just got wrong-footed. A bit tangled with his feet.
Good, Jeremy. Good, Jeremy. Good. Shot, Jeremy.
Piper. Has he kept it in? He has. Forshey. Strong there. South, however, bring it into their attacking half through Kenyon. Anderson. Butler. And the flag goes up against Andy Butler. Just completing the FFA Cup section. Still 2 games involving Queensland sides to be played on Tuesday night. The All A-League encounter at Dolphin Stadium. I'm told by the Brisbane Roar Managing Director Dave Pure that ticket sales have been very strong for that one. Expecting a crowd of well over 4,000 at Dolphin Stadium. The Roar looking for their first win against an A-League side in the FFA Cup and to go back into the round of 16 for the first time since 2014. Up against Melbourne City, who make their second successive trip to Dolphin Stadium after defeating Peninsula in the round of 32 last year. 7:30 kickoff at Dolphin Stadium for Brisbane Roar and Melbourne City. Or if you're more located towards the Gold Coast, maybe on the Brisbane southern suburbs, the Northern Rivers and New South Wales are on the Gold Coast itself. New team on the block for the FFA Cup, but some familiar faces. Inside the box, Quacko. In fact, it was Scarf. Heads on for Murphy. Yes, Gold Coast Knights, a full number of former Gold Coast City players who have had considerable FFA Cup experience. Gray Piddick in charge of the Knights this year after the dissolving of the Gold Coast City. They come up against Newcastle Jets on Tuesday night at Seabus Super Stadium at Robina. That game also Tuesday, 7:30. If you can't get along to the game, of course, Fox Sports will have all the action for you on Tuesday night. Broadcast game is one from Sydney, but as always, they'll bring you all the goals that happen around the grounds. I'm off to the Gold Coast Knights versus Newcastle game to call that for Fox. So you can also stream the non-broadcast games on the Fox Sports website. Catch all the action of the magic of the Cup. Stewart. Played back by Piper for his keeper. Just over 10 minutes to play in this first half. Still got a stalemate here at Ballinger Park. Verdon. Dwyer. Now to Mirovic for Souths. Down the line for Aochi. Throwing going South's way.
Come on, pal! Come on! Come on!
Goulet.
Side. Come on, birds. Off the field.
Salin. Goulet.
Come round.
Kabassi.
Go on, birds. Who's closest first?
Mirovic. A low cross aimed at Aochi. There's claims of handball. The referee had a good look at his assistant. He kept the flag by his side. Goulet forces Crickmore to punch away. Clearance off the line. Over the bar, the first real time that the Sunshine Coast Wanderers goal has come under threat. The referee's going to call out a play here for a chat. Looks like a yellow card in the referee's hand. And Haruna Mirovic, he hasn't actually issued the yellow card. He has now. Mirovic obviously not too enamoured with what the referee's dished out to him. Just check I've got the right culprit there. In fact, it's Starlin who's being booked. So corner for the visitors, in towards the near post. Another clearance off the line for the Wanderers. And away by Dwyer. Just taking a look at the stats through 36 minutes. South, who had the more possession, 60-40. But it's 2 shots on target for the Wanderers as opposed to none for South. South have had 1 shot off target, none for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. So as you can see, just the 2 shots at goal for Sunshine Coast Wanderers, 1 for South. Not much to talk about in terms of clear shots. Mirovic.
And get right in, Berno.
Square for Salin.
Well done!
Sunshine Coast Wanderers home crowd. Lit up a wry applause and cheer. Sam Knight, Sunshine Coast local, watching on. Be very content after his side's decisive victory. The Brisbane Strikers against the Sunshine Coast Fire last night in the NPL. Notching up 100 games in the process. And the once dominant Sunshine Coast Fire officially relegated down to the FQPL after last night's loss to their former arch rivals, the Brisbane Strikers. Might set up a local derby on the Sunshine Coast next year between the Wanderers and the Fire. Let's see if the Wanderers don't get promoted. Many of Sam Knight's former teammates from the Fire days out here this afternoon. Forshey. Coco is in an offside position, just sticks up the hand. Rolled out by Murphy for Goulet. Just over 5 minutes until the break, plus any stoppages. Cut out by Verdon. No real runners for Souths. Mirovic, Kabassi, Goulet, Salin. Try their arm down the left-hand side this time, South.
Try and help! Michael! Come on, Bert!
Sun sitting behind the trees, just cooled things off significantly here at Ballinger Park. And got it all wrong. Amirovic frustrated with his teammate. Won by Scarf.
We win it back! We win it back! Joe, look on! No, get right round. Half the field off. Come on, tie!
Butler now on the left wing for the visitors. Free kick going South United way. At the edge of the box, Cato has got him behind the keeper. Can he get a touch on it towards goal? Good recovery from the defender. Another scare there for the Wanderers. And he's awarded a corner. He's pointing towards the goal box, but now the referee points out towards the corner. So the Wanderers will have to withstand some late first half pressure here from the visitors. Butler making the run. Just to draw out a couple of defenders. In comes the corner. Crickmore attempted to get a punch away. Kenyon. Looks to be Goulet. Low cross in, dealt with by the defence. Wanderers come under sustained pressure until Forshey can clear. Salin. Another ball into the box for South, and again it's Cato fighting hard, but ultimately in the hands of Denver Crickmore. Salin. So underrated, Josh Forshey. Crucial wins in critical situations. Not the flashiest of players, but certainly very reliable for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers.
There's a ball behind the goals on that field.
Thanks, Jono.
gone into the jungle to retrieve the ball behind that left-hand goal. Very leafy surrounds at Ballinger Park in the Sunshine Coast hinterland.
Come on, gamble, Verdo. Go on, Virgin, you go, son. Go on, second ball. Go on.
Stewart's been released.
Keep
Enough harassment to force South to concede a throw-in. 90 seconds until the break. Dwyer. Schultz. Almost opened up for him the second bite of the cherry. Once again, Forshee in there and earns his side the free kick that he wants to take quickly. Won't be allowed to do so, which was probably for the best because he was going to lose possession there, Forshee. So now it's the Wanderers with a chance late in this half to break the deadlock. Carl Vonhoff will have the dead ball situation this time round. Butler, the lone man in defending the free kick for South. And once again, just not enough on that ball to test Murphy.
Keep coming, Taylor. Keep coming, Taylor. Yeah, come on, Joel.
It's all Wanderers.
Verdo, go on, eyebrows. And again, Bert, and again.
Piper back for his keeper. Unconvincing clearance away by Murphy. And a corner in stoppage time for the Wanderers. Could be the last play of this first half.
Wanderers just a 1 minute to add.
1 minute of time added on, we're being told.
Be strong. Away.
There's about 30 seconds of that left. So we wait this corner from Von Hoff. South clear away. Aochi attempt to get on his bike, but Forshee equal to the effort. Aochi will be all over him, quite literally. It's a clear free kick. There's not much in it. Aochi will be brought out by the referee, but Forshee hasn't taken much exception to it. He just gets on with the job. The referee asks Cato to cease and desist. We've completed the minute of stoppage time. So probably just his free kick and then we'll head off to the sheds. That's exactly the case. Well, as the scoreboard indicates, not too much in terms of opportunities for either side. Any opportunities that did come came late in that first half. It's tight and tense here at Ballinger Park, as you'd expect, between these two sides contending for fourth place on the FQPL table. It's a stalemate at half-time. It's Sunshine Coast Wanderers 0, South United 0. The players heading off to the dressing sheds. We're going to take a break as well and be with you on the other side of the half-time break for the second half action and see who might be able to break this deadlock. The Wanderers 0, South United 0.
a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range, we swear by our service, and of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We did great today.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the perfect Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas, she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
A lot of tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings together. That's what makes us always special. When you won't get the answers, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Celtics.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini Roos kickoff program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, dribble and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum keeps me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all, we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Until she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
So the team's back out on to Ballinger Park for the second half, just waiting for the match officials to do their checks. Kato Aochi slowly getting back, and another South player joining in from in amongst the grandstands. If you have just joined us, it's 0-0 at Ballinger Park in this FQPL round 23 clash. A couple of chances for either side towards the end of the first half, but neither able to make the breakthrough. What changes might the respective coaches have made at the half-time break in order to try and find that elusive goal that would send the winner of this game clear into fourth position on the FQPL table with 3 rounds to play. So it looks like we're just about ready to go. South will have the use of the ball in this first half. We are underway, 0-0 between the Wanderers and Souths at Ballinger Park. Second half of round 23 action from the Football Queensland Premier League. As always, love to know your comments about this game, about the league in general. Any questions on our Facebook post on the Football Queensland Facebook page.
Go on, Bird. Bring it back.
Burton loses out. Goulet.
There you go.
Intercepted there by the Wanderer in Leon Dwyer. Once again, Quacko.
Go on! Come on!
Another player to lose their footing on this loose surface. It's a little bit threadbare, particularly in that right-hand goal as we head towards the end of the season. Another long throw into the box evades Quacko, tending to get a foot to it with Scarf. Going down was the Sunshine Coast Wanderers player, and a referee immediately stops play. Leon Dwyer it is. Free kick will go the Wanderers' way. Will be left by the skipper Arden for Von Hoff to take.
Try one in front if we need to. Carl can defend. Joshy Pitts.
In comes that free kick. Nodded towards goal, and Murphy reacts well. Getting down to his right. There's a little bit of a flick on from Stewart, it looked like. Quick release by the South's keeper, Amerovic. Latching onto it now is Anderson. Team advances in towards the box. The ball shortly crossed the line. Arden thought about sticking a foot out and then decided that discretion was the better part of valour. Casey made a tackle that the referee might have thought unfairly, giving away a penalty, and that's definitely not what either one of these sides want at this crucial stage of this match, as well as how precariously the table is looking at the moment. Running through all those permutations later in the second half. Who's got who in the last 3 rounds, who might actually go through to claim the second promotion spot, and who's going to finish in the finals. Whatever my opinion matters. I think anything's possible over the next 3 weeks, other than the certainty of Peninsula being the premiers. Kenyon. Kabassi. Kabassi continues on his run. Crickmore there ahead of Aochi. Smith. Amerovic. Salim squeezes it between the 2 defenders for Goulet. Looks to release Anderson. The flag will go up, however.
Hey, we're too slow. Help each other, yeah? Keep it compact, Nick Taylor. Just keep us compact. Josh and Leon, got distance tighter, yeah?
Matt Chandler asking for his team to remain compact in their defensive setup. Not allow South any room to move in, particularly with the pace of Aochi. And once again, the referee being rather pedantic about the placement of the ball. Yeah, let's move it back 1 yard. Nonetheless, here's Crickmore's free kick. Away by Kenyon it was. Ball delivered in the box. Quacko tracking back out towards the sideline. Keeps it in. Wanderers ball.
Joshy, yeah? Joshy, Leon, different movements.
Once again, that's another long throw in directed in towards the area.
Come on, Josh!
Verdon. He goes down looking for contact. No whistle. Amerovic for South. Aochi. He's got Walkinshaw in front of him. Great tackle by Walkinshaw, and then the clearance away by Forshey. Threaded through by Anderson for Aochi. Just flat-footed was the Congolese. Man in Aochi. Scarf. Stewart. A low cross in. Once again, it's defended away.
Lock on, everyone!
Amerovic.
And again!
Sent away by Kenyon off the back of Aochi. Walkinshaw. Arden. Verdon. Schultz. Stewart. Touchback for Schultz. Schultz launches one. Couldn't hold it. Couldn't Murphy. Quacko. Now Stewart. And South have resisted another Wanderers advance and look to launch a counter of their own. That was until Von Hoff got in there.
Well done, Sel, well done. Good, Jess. Sky. Jonah, come on. Come on.
Could see Matt Chandler on camera with all these words. Encouraging his side after that chance that opened up, but unable to put it away, the Wanderers, for what would have been the opening goal. Instead, it still remains scoreless at Ballinger Park. Amerovic. Aochi at the feet of Quacko. Couldn't stretch out far enough to regain possession. The referee rules a free kick to South. Quacko right up in the referee's face asking why. Amerovic takes the free kick quickly. On for Anderson. Smith. And towards the area. Away by the Wanderers. Smith for Goulet. Kabassi forced to go backwards. Salim. Smith. Anderson. South not able to get any forward progress. Amerovic. Kenyon. Can hit them from outside the area. Instead he lays off the pass, and then there's an airy. Wanderers crowd love that one. Might have been Kabassi on that far side. Nonetheless, South have possession once more. Salin. Smith. It's like one of my goal shots there that Kabassi had. In the hands of Crickwell.
2 on 2 now, Scovey, yeah. Bono, go on, stretch the game, get up, Ray.
Sends it long. Burden was the man for the Wanderers. Anderson for South, Aochi. Had Smith looping down the left wing. Goulet. Anderson squeezed through for Amerovic. Quick layoff by Anderson. Smith, Aochi. Anderson. Aochi, the flag stays down. Aochi gets the chance to cut back for Butler inside the 6-yard box, and the Wanderers concede the corner.
Pulling you out, he's just pulling us out every time. That's why you need to be there. Oh!
And ball against Andy Butler. And the referee will have a chat to the South player. It's Josh Anderson. Might have heard the referee in the effects mic saying to Josh Anderson that's where it ends. We're playing on with a free kick, which Crickmore duly takes. Once again, the whistle has been blown. Is there an offside there? Couldn't quite catch it. And an errant challenge in from Dwyer. And he'll be going into the notebook. It's going the Aochi's way, actually. So Cato into the notebook. Free kick going the Wanderers' way. Just a bit scrappy at the moment in this phase of the second half. Von Hoff. Searching ball once again into the edge of the area. Quacko sticks out the feet. Trying to hassle the South player. And the South player's been knocked over. And as I said, continuing to get scrappy. Referee trying very hard to keep the cards in his pocket. Given a couple out, but I'm not sure how more patient he'll be in terms of delivering some more. Amerovic. Anderson. Butler. Another ball slides across the face of goal. Smith will be the man from South to chase it. Referee's given the throw in the Wanderers' way. Every decision of the referee being challenged at the moment. Ball's crossed the sideline, however.
Pull Berto in, Ray. Next one. Here we go.
Smith back for Goulet. Dwyer. Both sides just having a battle at the moment, getting out of their midfield. Anderson. Butler.
Shake! Shake, bud, shake!
Anderson here again. Aochi. Once again, that familiar position of finding his back to goal. Smith. Amerovic inside the area. Tried to tuck one through. Quacko with the block of with his legs. Von Hoff sends it straight to Kenyon. Good feet by Scarf. And good enough to earn the throw in for his side. Easy there for Salin. Aochi's given away the foul against Dwyer.
Go on, Jez! Come on, Joe!
Allowed the Wanderers to take the quick free kick.
Yeah, well done. Excellent. Good, Leon. Fine, yeah. Fine, yeah. Fine, yeah. Look at him.
Almost fell fortuitously for Anderson of Souths.
Shake now, Joe.
Getting in there last minute was Goulet.
Shake, come on, keep the cover in. Shake, 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 shake.
Al Stockel watching on, the East statistician, hoping for a draw. Be very happy this stalemate remained with the Tigers. Potentially not another opponent or a couple of opponents out of the promotion race.
Anticipate! Great. Come on.
Injured Ethan Grimley watching on and cheering on his South United. Predicting that Jake Taylor winner coming right up. Let's see if that does happen.
Yeah, look, in between Leon, in between Joe, don't all turn our back. I want to keep playing, eh?
And a good afternoon to Stuart Flint.
I want to keep playing, yeah?
Watching on from Adelaide now, after making a move with his family in the last couple of weeks down to the south. He's already picked up a local team in the SANPL and cheering that they avoided relegation yesterday. Held in tight quarters there, the South's defence. Schultz. Looks to be Verdant. Stewart again getting involved. Ball across the bottom line once more, and well, I thought it was a corner as well, so did the Wanderers players. He's ruled it Southway. So the referee been involved in a couple of controversial calls this afternoon. Nothing too major that's affected play, but just those little ones like throw-ins and goal kicks and corners. As you'd expect in such an encounter, everything being challenged with plenty on the line. Anderson goes down. Gets back to his feet, however. Kenyon calling for it at his feet. Instead, South continue to try and attack down that right-hand side. Here comes the ball delivered in. Aochi was the man. Kenyon leaves it. Smith. Goulet. Once again a switch of play out onto the right. Perhaps the South think that the Wanderers are a little bit suspect on that left-hand side of defence. Can't see either coach reading any substitutions at this stage. Amirovic! Iron wide. 19 minutes of this second half has elapsed. Still 0-0 at Ballinger Park in this round 23 Football Queensland Premier League clash. The score does stay the way it is at the moment. It'll be still Sunshine Coast Wanderers in 4th, South in 5th. Level on points on the live ladder. They both move to 38 with a draw, which would be 5 points adrift of third place Logan Lightning, but 4 points ahead of the 6th place Rochdale Rovers. Did you hear that reaction from the players in the crowd on the far side? Switch of play for Smith on the left for Souths. Amirovic. He chance his hand again. Anderson. Butler. Waiting at the edge of the box for his cross was Schultz, which was duly blocked. Touchback by Stewart. Has the return ball back. Now allows Scarf to get on his bike. One man ahead for him. Scarf just takes a look to see what the options are and decides that I'm going to have a chance myself from outside the box. And might have been better options as Matt Chandler is about to make his first change of the afternoon, and coming on in jersey 12 will be Kobe Fuller, leading goal scorer for the Wanderers this year, and he'll come on to replace Joel Quacko. So the change made. On comes Kobe Fuller in 12. So what can the Wanderers' leading scorer in 2018 contribute to his side in the remaining 25 minutes or so? Once again, plenty of questions being asked of the referee, Michael Balone. Free kick taken by Von Hoff. Been corrected on the pronunciation of the number 16 for Sunshine Coast Wanderers, Josh Forshay. Not Forshay, Forshay. Thanks very much. I think it was Rick for that clarification, and thanks for the kind words. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast this afternoon.
Charlie, just take pictures. Kobe, well done, Kobe.
Wanderers down the left, off there for Stewart. Substitute Fuller, just a fraction too far past him.
Run the keeper. Go on, he's lost. There you go.
Contest for the ball. Amirovic wins on that occasion. Up in the air by Amirovic, getting involved again. Once again, that breeze springs up. Left us there for a while, but now coming from right to left as the camera looks out over Ballinger Park. Here comes the cross. Dwyer. Right across the face that time. Way by Kenyon it looked like. Amirovic. Long and the short of it in the front of the South attacking lineup. Cato and Harun. Almost looks like about a foot between them.
Taylor, sprint.
in terms of height.
Collis. On the first one. Leon.
Walking short.
No, didn't go. Good. In between, Scott. Good. Hills Rain. Bruno.
No pressure on this Wanderer as Arden skips that ball onto the left wing for Stewart. Dances around his opponent.
Lock on, Tay. Be aware. Be aware, Nick. Taylor.
So just having a look of the contenders and their run home in the final 3 rounds of the season and trying to predict where everyone may end up. Let's start off with Eastern Suburbs, currently in second place on 44 points. Their run home, you'd figure that they should win against Ipswich Knights, although they are away at a Bundamba, and it's always a tricky road trip, that one, out to Bundamba, but I'm going to give the 3 points to Eastern Suburbs for that one. They then found themselves against Souths at home, and Souths probably not quite the side they have been in recent weeks, so I'm going to give the 3 points there to Eastern Suburbs as well. And then another tough, tricky trip out to Capella Bar in the final round for Eastern Suburbs. Should win that. If we see this cross directed in for Jeremy Stewart. So I'm going to give Eastern Suburbs all 9 points. That would take them to 53, and if they can win all 3, they would secure promotion to next year's NPL. But it looks like it'll come all down to that final game against Capella Bar, where I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulldogs put up a bit of a fight and perhaps can get a draw out of that. But the form that Eastern Suburbs are in, and will have plenty of confidence after scoring 10 last night, even though it was against Wide Bay. Pause just momentarily for this corner for the Wanderers. And comes in from Von Hoff. Hooked away by Kenyon. Forshay attempts to get the better of Aochi and does exactly that. There was a stray foot led out by Aochi as Walkingshaw was coming in to help out as well. Referee doesn't look like he'll take any further action. Quick throw in. Ben Lynch warming up on the field behind us. Looking set to be introduced as Matt Chandler's second substitution. Assistant on the far side. Flag South's way. Next change, that substitution will be made. South deep into their attacking third.
Concentrate. Got numbers right, Nick. Go.
So that change will be made for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, with number 13, Ben Lynch, being introduced. Who's he coming on to replace? I just can't pick out the number of the player jogging towards me. I think it's James Verdon. That is indeed the case. So 13, Ben Lynch, on for 8, James Verdon. And still the ball in the attacking third for South, but some relief here for the Wanderers in the form of a goal kick. So just continuing on the contenders, Logan Lightning now sit 1 point behind Eastern Suburbs in third place on 43 points, and a tough run home for them, commencing with Peninsula Power at home next week, and that really is the key. We know that Peninsula Power have only dropped points to Logan Lightning early in the season, a 1-1 draw, but Logan realistically need to get the win against Peninsula Power next week. I find that very hard they would be able to do so, even though Logan will be at home. It looked like they were morals for the second promotion spot 4 weeks ago, but have fallen in a bit of a hole with some injuries hitting the squad. So I'm going to give the Peninsula the 3 points in that one, as we see the substitute Lynch looking to make immediate effect. Too far for Von Hoff. In round 25, Logan travelled to Wakeley Park to take on South. I think that will be a draw, and their final game will be against Mitchelton down at Cornubia Park. And Mitchelton sprung somewhat as a surprise in the first half of the season. A late winner in a match that probably Logan will look back and say, we should have got something out of that, and we might have been in the box seat for promotion earlier on. So I got that wrong. It's actually Sunshine Coast Wanderers Logan play in round 25. That's an even tougher match. Challenge at the edge of the box in a corner. Here's the result. So I'm going to give 2 points for Logan in their remaining games. That would take them to 45. Lofted corner towards the back stick, punched away by Crickmore. Fourchet. Sunshine Coast Wanderers in fourth position at the moment, as we said before, on 38 points, including, if this result stays at the way it is at the moment, their run home. Tough little trip to Capalaba away next weekend. The coach Matt Chandler will come up against his son, Capalaba keeper Sam Chandler. Fancy a draw in that one. Then Logan Lightning at home. I've already given the draw to Logan, and their final game away to Peninsula Power. So I'm going to give 2 points there to the Wanderers, and that would take them through to 40 points. Here's Lynch for the Wanderers. Oh, Stewart got something on that.
Hey, Shay, midfield, midfield.
And then South in fifth position on the same number of points of their opponents this afternoon. Was Kenyon bumped? Yes, says the referee. South with Mitchelton at home next week. Eastern Suburbs away, and then Wolves at home in the final round. It's a tough test for these contenders in the final 3 rounds, isn't there? Even though sides like Middleton and Wolves out of the top 4, they well and truly putting up fights against oppositions in their game at the moment. Free kick taken by Anderson. So I think
Sharpie, yeah, get in between them.
South can possibly beat Mitchelton, given Eastern Suburbs the 3 points. And that Wolves one's a tricky one.
Leon, Josh, Benny.
Maybe a draw against Wolves.
Come on, be active.
Let's give them 4 points, so that takes them to 42.
Yes.
And then Rochdale Rovers knocked out of the promotion race last night.
Oh, God, you didn't come.
So, finals, the only thing for them to play for now.
Carlos, well covered. Gunner! Get up! Support! Go on, Cole, gamble.
Forshay.
Gamble. Go, Benny. Go on, go and gamble. Come on, Mark in, Nick. Ray. Stay on.
Stewart
Get some,
trying to
Jess.
drag the defender in.
Well done,
Lofted
Jess.
ball, and it's taken deflection out for the corner.
Come on.
So 10 minutes to play, still 0-all. Yeah, Rochdale with Holland Park away next week. Then Wide Bay at home and Ipswich Knights away in the final round. So I see a definite 6 points there for Rochdale. What will happen next week against Holland Park is probably the question mark. They might be able to grab all 9 points there, Rochdale. And if that were the case, that would take them to 43. In comes the corner, nodded on in close range, but over the target. Probably the best opportunity we've had in this second half so far. And then the final contenders are Mitchelton, who sit in 7th position at the moment on 32 points. South away next week. Then Capella away and Logan away. So all their 3 remaining games away from home. Mitchelton on 32 points. And the lowest, who have I got in? I've got Rochdale Rovers on 43 in 4th. And that's not enough points for Mitchelton to be able to make up that gap. So I've got them missing out on the finals. Anderson. Goulet. Tussle there between Goulet and Stewart. Butler getting involved and having a chat to the referee and asking for some further sanction. Semi-flash point here. Plenty of South players having a chat to the referee. Brody Kenyon pointing out a number of offences. Now, who's he bringing out? Andy Butler goes into the notebook. Anderson will be the man with the free kick for South. 2 in the wall for the Wanderers. Free kick put up high into the box, and a goal kick will be the result. So what's the end result of all my prognostications for what it counts? Well, obviously Peninsula will finish first. I've got Eastern Suburbs finishing second and taking the second promotion spot. Third, Logan. And I've got Rochdale Rovers sneaking into the finals at the expense of South and Sunshine Coast Wanderers, which would mean in the first week it'll be Peninsula at home to Rochdale and East at home to Logan. That's my predictions for the semis, but anything could happen in the final 3 weeks. They're my thoughts. What are yours? It would almost be improbable, even though I've come up with it, that Rochdale could make the top 4 considering the gap. But as I said, comparing to the runs of the other sides in terms of what's to come for them, Holland Park, Wide Bay and Ipswich Knights Teams all down in the lower half of the ladder, whereas the other contenders, if not all three, two of the three against teams also in the hunt for finals or very influential in terms of being able to make what the content of the finals will be. So plenty to talk about in the final 3 weeks of the FQPL, including the top 4 and who will grab that second promotion spot. Keep with us on Football Queensland to see who will grab those valuable positions. Of course, there's still 2 points up for grab for either of these sides at the moment. If either one of them can collect the 3 points, that might just change my predictions a little. It'd move south ahead of Roachdale if they could get the 3 points in my predictions. Meanwhile, it's the Sunshine Coast Wanderers through Stewart. And yeah, just left to rue his effort. We're 5 minutes to play and we're still scoreless. Already had one scoreless draw in our FQPL live streams from Ballinger Park this year. Could we be headed for another one? Forshay.
Forward now, Carlos. Go, little check. It's all right, Cobe, head on. Cobe's head up, let's go. Let's go. Can you get there? Can you get there? Can you get there? No turn, no turn. Go on, we're nicking that, Cobe. Love it.
Mark Scannell, watching on from Sydney, thinks that perhaps South's chance is on the left-hand side. Stuart Flint agrees. Hello, David Puré. Jacob Alexander watching on. Amirovic and Anderson. What a duo. They'll need their magical efforts in this remaining period of 4 minutes plus stoppages to try and conjure something up here for Souths. Fuller. And just nothing linking up for either side at the moment in that final third. Both sides left to rue. What could have been perhaps in terms of finding the back of the net. Forshay on for Scarf. And Fuller. He'll deliver the cross in towards the spot. Once again, the South defender with a crucial foot. Turnover of the ball though. Arriving was Von Hoff instead of in front of Aochi, I should say. Chested on by Dwyer. Von Hoff. Oh, he's hacked down there, the South player. Referee is going to allow advantage. There's 2 South players down. So they're down to 9 at the moment. Kenyon. And there's a South player urgently asking for some attention. So I think one of them down, the furthest away is Goulet. And the yellow card comes out for Fuller for his challenge on the player nearest to camera. Two and a half minutes remaining. Goulet is back to his haunches. Fuller's in to apologise to the South player. I just didn't quite catch that player on the way through. So South is set by a few injury concerns at the moment, and they may have another one here. Looks like there'll definitely be a substitution. It'll be Joey Masuda coming on. I think they might be calling for a stretcher. Yeah, that's happening unfortunately here for this South player. So we're going to have a break in play while this injured player is attended to. Some communication going on between the assistant and the referee.
You're there, they're hitting you from behind, and he's calling me every single time and booking. You don't know how to play the game.
And Aochi
That's what I'm saying, you know?
having a chat to the assistant. Plenty of chatter going on. Kobe Fuller having his 2 cents worth as well. Meanwhile, the stretcher has been brought out for this South player who remains down. I'm just trying to pick out who's not on their feet. Is it Josh Anderson, perhaps? I can't see him, so by process of elimination, so Anderson, I think it is, that's being brought to this near touchline by way of a stretcher. And yeah, unfortunately confirmation that it is Josh Anderson. Joey Masuda goes on in jersey 8. So play was halted for Anderson to be attended to. So we'll restart with a drop ball. We're now into the first minute of stoppage time. And we've had probably about a 3.5 minute break there. I think Matt Chen is going to inquire how much stoppage time. 5 minutes of stoppage time. We've had 1.5 of those. Okay, so around about 3.5 minutes for either of these sides to find that elusive breakthrough and try and stamp their mark in terms of getting through to the Final Four and postseason action. Apologies, Adam. It's going to delay my drive home as well and my dinner as well. So here comes the delivery. Away by the defence for Shea. Lynch. Corner here for Sunshine Coast Wanderers with around about 2.5 minutes remaining. Still plenty of talk out there between the players and the referee. Corner low towards the near post.
Get out, mate! Get the box! Right, at your feet, pal. Go right, go on.
Edge of the area. Is that Schultz? Drives one in low, and the substitute has scored. Kobe Fuller has delivered here for Wanderers. 3 minutes into stoppage time. The leading goal scorer for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers has come off the bench. And it seems certain now that the Sunshine Coast Wanderers will be in clear fourth position in around about 2 minutes' time. South won't go down without a fight, but the Wanderers have retained possession or regained possession from the kickoff. South's about to make another change.
Kobe, I need you. Really need you, Kobe.
Aochi.
Breathe in me. Breathe in me.
Definite sense of urgency now. Can the Wanderers hold on for the remainder? 60 seconds or so. Crickmore, no rush to get that ball away. Can they find a second potentially here? The Wanderers. Free kick to the home side. Joel Quacko's pumped up. And there's a yellow card that's been dispatched to the South player. South looking to make a substitution. Coming on in 12 is Jake Taylor. Replacing Andy Butler. That's 5 minutes of stoppage time completed. Not sure if it was 5 minutes in total or 5 minutes from when play restarted. On goes Taylor in 12. And it's a free kick for the Wanderers, who are about to make a change of their own as well. So here comes the free kick. It's blasted low! And the Wanderers have certainly wrapped up their 3 points now. It's been Vonhoff who has been taking the free kicks. And yes, it is him who makes certain of the 3 points for the Wanderers. Both goals coming in stoppage time. And it'll be the goal scorer, the latest one, Carl Vonhoff. Let's listen to the chat from Matt Chandler. Coming on in 14 is Tyler Morse. So 6 minutes of stoppage time completed. Both goals coming beyond the 90 for the Wanderers. Seems certain we were going to have a share of the spoils, but the Wanderers have had a late say in that. Challenge coming in from the substitute Taylor. Referee will let that slide for the time being. Once again, it's become a bit scrappy. Chance here for South perhaps to find a late goal. It comes to naught, however. And the Sunshine Coast Wanderers have pulled off a miraculous escape here at Ballinger Park. Both goals coming in stoppage time. Firstly to Kobe Fuller, and then a great free kick from Carl Vonhoff. We seem certain to share the spoils and a point each, but it's the Wanderers with two absolute late goals that take a 2-0 victory at home against Souths and move into 4th position on the FQPL table. They now go 3 points ahead of their opponents this evening on the table. So Peninsula on 64, East on 44, Logan on 43. Sunshine Coast Wanderers now move to 40, Souths on 37, Rochdale on 32, and Rochdale on 34, Mitchelton on 32. They're now the contenders. Mitchelton probably rubbed out of that equation now, 8 points behind 4th, but who knows what might happen in the remaining 3 rounds of the FQPL. But one thing we know for certain is that round 23 has come to an end in a dramatic climax at Ballinger Park. It is Sunshine Coast Wanderers 2, South United 0. On behalf of all the team, it's Rafe Griffin saying goodnight from Ballinger Park.